Those guys suck. Oh my gosh. Because these guys shoot little blasts at you, and they can easily hit you. It's like...
My name is Tristan Caswell-Riday, but it's also Tensco, which is my stage name. So, music started for me back in 5th grade. I started playing the flute because it was an instrument that I just really enjoyed. Then 8th grade came around, and at this point when I was bored, I started working with stuff in GarageBand. And then soon after starting it, Avicii started coming out with music that was really gaining popularity. And Daft Punk was another band, and both of them really started inspiring me to not only make loops, but start to make my own content, and so by that point, I started making my own music.
I think that art came into my life when I was probably really little. I think most kids are exposed to art as an option when they are in preschool and kindergarten. I actually went to a Montessori school in preschool, which is like a fancy preschool. They started realizing sort of early on that I would spend hours and hours in this room where they just had all these weird little games where you would like put droplets of water into a sponge, and all the other kids would be outside on the playground and I would stay inside to go play in that little room full of little tiny activities. In 5th grade is when I started realizing like I would sing a lot, I would act a lot, I tried to like be a musician and stuff, but it just wasn't me, and I had tried out all these things, all these sports, all these activities, and what it came down to is the only thing I really enjoyed doing was art.
Most of my time I spend now in music. Like, it sounds bad, but hanging out with friends I don't really do that much because I spend so much time on my music, but for me it actually isn't that bad.
Art has really changed the way I look at the world. I think seeing the world creatively is just seeing the world optimistically, if that makes sense. Like when you're drawing and you're painting, the entire thing is sort of solving a problem, because the problem is you've got this energy or you've got this picture in your head that you want to create on paper or on a canvas or in a sculpture, and the problem is figuring out how to get there and how to get this mood that you're feeling, or this, you know, this just like something you want to get across to the world.
To a degree, I do feel vulnerable when sharing my music and my ideas. I always feel like, you know, someone can take something away from me using it. No one has yet, but there's always a fear of that.
I think that there is no way to really create quality work without being vulnerable. It's like showing someone what you think about on a regular basis. It's like literally like, hey, take a look at what's inside my head for a bit. And that's scary, but everyone usually has a really good reaction and a different reaction. I think the key to being a good artist is putting yourself out there 100%. Once you give a little piece of yourself to the world, it's a lot easier for the world to kind of give you that respect and give you that recognition. And I think it's really healthy. And I think that's why being creatively expressive in some way is really healthy. You're exposing yourself in some way at anytime you do any of those things. And that's really healthy to do.
People, when they react to my vulnerability, they actually react pretty nicely. Like, my friends never really are. Say like, wow, that really sucks. Like, you should stop doing this. They're support a lot. And even my parents, like, they'll comment, but they still support what I'm doing.
I haven't had too many like really super memorable, impactful times that someone has insulted my work or that someone has reacted negatively. I'm sure I will in the future. I'm sure that that'll happen to me and I'll have to deal with that. I used to take criticism not well. It used to really bother me because I was so used to, like growing up, I was so used to being the best in my class and the best at, you know, the drawings, and I would always expect teachers to not even like really criticize my work. And I didn't really learn how to do that until I went to 2 weeks of Savannah College of Art summer camp. And this is in an art school where everyone there knows what they're doing. And my dad always told me that that's what art school's like. Like you're gonna go and you are used to being the best at what you're doing in your little high school, but now you're going to go to this place where everyone that was the best in their high school is all concentrated in one spot, and you're no longer going to be the best. and you have to deal with that, and you grow from that. You know, I would make something in the class and, you know, expect it to be good, and it would be good compared to some of the students' work, but the teacher would be like, yeah, you know, I think you need to change this color scheme. I think there needs to be more going on in this. And they would be really harsh, and it made me feel like crap for the first week. But the second week I kind of realized, like, you know what, this is why I'm here. You need to be criticized. And I grew more in my artwork in that past week than I ever have.
The worst reaction I've ever gotten from my work was one of my friends. We were playing music, and I started playing my own music from the speakers, and one of my friends was like, what is this trash? Like, stop playing this. And that was pretty bad, but even so, I like to think I have a tough skin, so it wasn't as bad. My
peers and my friends are all they're really supportive about what I do and the things that I create. If there's anyone that's that I've had a negative reaction from, it would be those teachers or those role models in my life that have kind of been like, stop being all over the place, stop trying to do this project a different way than I had it written down on paper. Because that's just like what I do. I see, you know, all right, I have 10 guidelines of what this assignment looks like, and I'm going to technically follow all those guidelines and do something completely different than everyone else, because that's just what I want to do.
Generally, most of my friends support my music. They all enjoy it, I think, or at least that's what they tell me.
I think everyone is on this level of discovering themselves and discovering themselves through their artwork, and it doesn't make sense to compare to other people.
Sometimes I sort of wonder if there's a sense of like, why does Tristan keep doing this? I mean, they know I make music, but I feel like some of the time that may be their reaction. And I mean, you know, everyone always feels breaking the mold isn't the best. There's sort of a sense of why would you want to do something so different, but I still do it anyways, and I think overall I'm happy with it, and whether other people are or not, it doesn't really matter to me. Just sort of do what I want.